Yeah.
Says we're live.
All right, we're live in living color.
It says we're live. It says we're on the interwebs, broadcasting
Live from
Tailgate Brewing.
Tailgate Brewery with one of our great friends, friend of the program, longtime Titans fan, old podcast co-host.
If you know, you know.
Blake Shoemaker. 3 claps one time. Man, Blakey boy, I missed you. I'll say that you have become famous in the realms of the Titans world right now. Because what an honor I can interview you.
Pretty surreal. No, we knew they were coming through town for the Titans preseason tour. Follow me through Tennessee. They were going to bring media and whatnot. What we didn't know is it wasn't just going to be a meet and greet, but it was also going to be a live recording of the OTP, the official Titans podcast. And about 10 minutes before they decided to start, they said, we need somebody from the group to talk. And Brian Hager immediately was like, and pointed at me.
You got voluntold.
I got voluntold. So quickly did some research and joined the table with Mike Keith and Coach Mack and Rhett and Amy. And it was weird. It's weird listening to most of these people on the radio for 20 years and suddenly being interviewed by the bunch.
Hearing their voices in person instead of just through a speaker.
Yes.
We're on a YouTube channel. Like, seeing the group today, I went back and watched the video. I saw you posted the group, and I was like, man, it's kind of surreal. Like, so we come watch these games. There's our boy Blake, and they do such a good job with their social. It's kind of awesome to see the promotion. So it's going to be coming out kind of like the next day and whatnot. So far in our Titan season, as a man that has a very level head about football, sometimes.
You're talking to the guy that the last time we podcasted together and we exited the playoffs, I showed up to the podcast in a Preds jersey wanting to talk about hockey.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Full-blown denial.
Is that true?
Well, yeah,
Is that valid?
It is very true. I wonder, are you in a state of full denial so far?
So I know that the easy thing to do is to blame the quarterback, right? Will Levis has made some terrible mistakes this season, but we also have to remember that the guy doesn't even have a full season's worth of starts under his belt. We have quarterbacks that are starting in this league this year, like Caleb Williams, who's making mistakes, growing pains, going through the same things. He's just doing it all in one season, where Will has kind of spread it across 2 partial seasons so far. And I think there are many more problems besides the quarterback play. Offensive line, still a problem. Play calling, I think we're kind of in some growing pains there with Callie. So I think there's plenty of blame to go around, but, definitely, first 0-3 start since 2009, I believe. Tough times for sure.
Yeah. I guess I just didn't think Will would be that bad. I think that's my problem. And there's been good drives. Like, when it's scripted, it's been good. It's been pretty good. I wouldn't say great, but it's been pretty good. And we might watch this in the first drive, where starting. And I guess it's just after the scripted drive, where do you go from there? The defense is going to play you into games. It's going to keep you alive. I just never thought it'd get this bad. You thought Callahan would come out and the offensive line's problems, as an optimistic fan, would just solve themselves because it just didn't happen. I was kind of worried about that. If that doesn't solve itself, where do we go? So now I'm like, maybe. But looking at the division this weekend, it makes me feel a little bit more optimistic of the struggles that all the teams kind of go through.
It is weird to see the AFC South to go from a joke to the most competitive conference in the NFL, arguably, and now back to the bottom, with the exception of the Texans. And even the Texans have looked questionable at times. But like you said, I think we went into last season knowing we were in a rebuild, and we saw a lot of the moves that were made in the draft and the coaching hires and everything. And I think we kind of optimistically thought we might be further down the road than we thought we would be going into this season, but I think we're seeing some of the things that we didn't expect to see. So left tackle was a problem last season. Well, we fixed the left, now it's the right. And we've got Bill Callahan, sure, but Bill Callahan can only do so much, and I think he needs time and the ability to get his own staff in there, his own personnel to coach up. So,
Yeah. and this being one of the most winnable games possible, it just kind of scares you. Like if it goes south tonight, where do you go from here? Kind of deal. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic, but this is a really tough spot to be in. Now, speaking of optimism, I know you want to get to the game. You got to be a representative here. I apologize for.
Oh, are you going there?
Oh,
I am.
Okay.
As an Alabama fan, how did Saturday night feel?
So I think I aged about 30 years over the course of that game. This game was a perfect game if you were a fan of football but weren't invested in either team. With the exception of the first half as a Bama fan and most of the second half as a Georgia fan, right?
Yeah.
The rest of the time we were absolutely miserable collectively, right?
Dude, I've never been as close. Like, I'm one of those people that watching a Georgia game, if they're blowing somebody out or getting blown out, I watch every snap. So, like, watching that first half, that's the closest I've ever been to cutting off a game. And I was just like, man, I don't know who got off the bus. We didn't get off the bus. So, who knows?
I think kind of wildly unexpected by both of us. You didn't see it going it that way. We certainly didn't see it going that way. We expected a close game. I know there's a lot of history there, but it ended up, like I said, if you weren't invested in either team, it was perfect. And social media was just lighting up about it, game of the year and, things like that. But, I know Alabama came out on top, but there's still a lot of problems that Alabama needs to address as far as closing out the game, as far as clock management, as far as, play selection late. Really, I think made that game a lot closer than it needed to be. I looked up earlier, when they were up 33-21, Alabama ran 6 plays before punting, and they took just over 2 minutes off the clock. They snapped the ball with 22 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and 10 seconds on the play clock in that drive. And even when they got the ball back after Georgia scored the touchdown, they still didn't have an interest in running down the clock. They had 5 plays and ran about another 2 minutes off the clock.
Yeah.
So almost came back to bite them.
Yeah, I mean, when Dylan Bell scored, I felt like I had been transported to another universe. And I was like, and that lasted all of about 45 seconds because Ryan Williams is Ryan Williams. He's everything everybody talked him up to be. He's 17, in case you guys didn't know. We've covered that enough. But I kind of agree. And I think that's one of those things that I don't think this is the last time this will happen to you this year as a Bama fan. Because I think the way that offense is structured is kind of a shot offense. So, like, you'll have times where it looks like the first half, and it's like you are the definition of offensive football. And then you'll have other times where it's like, what are we doing? Nothing's working. Nothing's stringing together. We can't have these consistent drives, And also, I think that Milroe's just so good, man. Like, seeing some of the situations he was in and got out of, I'm just like, God, man, like, there's nobody else in the country that's doing that. There's nobody else that's getting out of that. When the B gap opens and we have a linebacker just staring at him and he misses and turns 1st and 20 into 2nd and 4, I'm like, only Jalen Milroe's doing that. So, I don't know. Am I sad that we lost? Yeah, but I've kind of come to expect it. I'm like, it is what it is. It's until you beat Bama and until you, I think, beat Bama a couple of times, you're not going to shake the psyche that they have over you. So,
And to think with the format we have this year, we could see that matchup twice more.
Potentially
if
three
not
times.
3 times.
Potentially 3 times.
If not 3 times.
So, but Georgia's got to start faster if they want that to happen.
Yeah.
They have to start faster because Texas can stack points on you like that. Tennessee can stack points on you like that. Ole Miss can stack points on you like that. So you got to start faster. I mean, you have to.
Can I ask you, is this fact or fiction? Is Ryan Williams going to go down as the best receiver to ever come through Alabama? Fact or fiction?
It is really early to be making that call. He's 7. I don't know if y'all know this or not. He's 17 years old.
Are you sure?
I think I may have
No
heard it
way.
mentioned once or twice on the broadcast.
Listen, I saw Amari Cooper in person at Alabama in college. I saw one step has the 80 yards to the end zone. I've seen Jerry Jeudy in person. I think that Ryan Williams is better than both of them. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I know it's early, but what is your initial, like, okay, this kid is
The
X.
tools are there.
Yeah.
I mean, the tools are there, but it's just early. You know, I mean, I'd like to see him get a couple of seasons under his belt
Absolutely.
before we maybe have that conversation.
Absolutely.
But some of the catch off the deflection, I mean, the catch on the long score to answer and retake the lead, I
Yeah.
mean, to spin and make the defenders collide with each other. I mean, there was some crazy special stuff we were seeing out
I
there.
saw a dead leg double spit. Like, I don't look like me out there.
The body
It
control
did look
was-
like you, Miggy. Especially the route running, the nimble toes,
Agility.
Yeah, agility. That if there was like a number one attribute on Malcolm Harris's college football, it's agility and nimbleness.
And the ability to eat garlic knots at Tailgate Brewing.
Yeah, thank you, Tailgate. These I kind of forgot. I haven't had these in a few minutes, and gum, they're good. So if you want to come out to Tailgate Brewery, it is half price app night on Mondays. Did not know this.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, brother, if you're gonna give me garlic knots, I'm gonna eat some here in a minute. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till we get to the game time. Probably in the first quarter or so. Wow. Breaking news here. Very sad. All-time hits leader Pete Rose just passed away.
R.I.P. to the GOAT, man.
R.I.P.
Wow.
I guess
Thanks,
a
Blakey.
GOAT. There's so many baseball players. Is there one GOAT of baseball?
Y'all aren't gonna like my answer.
Go ahead.
I want to hear it.
It's Barry Bonds, man. Like, cut the BS.
I respect that answer
Yeah,
so
bro.
much, dude.
Because
I
even
respect that answer so
skinny, no juice Barry was awesome.
Like, come on.
Do you have some? Who's yours?
I mean, I'm not a fan of the way Barry Bonds ended his
Absolutely.
career. But you look at the whole
Absolutely.
picture. You look at the whole picture. The argument can be made. It's like you said. It's really hard. I mean, nobody's touching that Pete Rose record, right?
Yeah.
You talk about. Gosh, I mean, it's hard to narrow it down to one.
There's so many players.
Yeah.
Like, there's just been so many incredible baseball players that it's hard to I think it's harder to pick one than it is for like basketball, football, things like that. Hank Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
That's like
Hammer
Michael
Hank.
Jordan.
yeah,
you know?
I mean, he's just like, it's a staple.
Yeah.
He's a staple of baseball.
yeah, absolutely.
I think with Hank too is like he's just old enough where we didn't get to watch him at all. Like
Yeah.
it's so much. There's a lot less video, and I could never get around like the Pete Rose I'm just blanking.
Barry Bonds,
No,
Pete Rose.
What year?
no, early.
Against
Why am I
Babe Ruth?
blank? Babe Ruth.
Oh.
Why, the Great Bambino.
Great Bambino.
Ooh. But why? Like I could never get around. Love you, Main Street. I could never get around him playing against like plumbers and mechanics. Like that's weird to me.
Yeah.
So I can't get around that. Even though he might have been awesome, but he's, as the great comedians say, that he's one hot dog away from a coronary. So it's
True.
hard to justify. But Barry would have been up there. But Pete without gambling is the greatest of all time.
Easily.
I hate to say that, but it's just true. Braves got in today. Our boy G is out. He was at the game today with a 5-year-old friend, and he took one of his students down there, and family friend, and they had a big day, man. They had a big day. Going to watch both ball games. So, yeah, Braves get in. Second game, nobody cared about. Chris Sale didn't play. I mean, we just got an easy dub against
Oh, so the
that
so the
first
Braves
game-
are in.
the Braves. Are in.
Braves
That
are
first
in,
game
Mets
was
are
a
in.
disaster.
Yeah.
Like-
If you're just a casual baseball fan, that's an awesome ending.
It was. It's same thing as the Alabama Georgia game. We had
Yeah.
the baseball version of it today.
Yeah. Yeah. If you were
Braves
just
up 3-0. They give up 6.
Yep.
In the same half inning, they score 4 to
Yep.
retake the lead, and then they give up a 2-run bomb in the ninth to lose the game.
Wow, what a heartbreaking
roller
run.
coaster of emotions.
Man, tough day for Georgia fans.
You know, I saw this tweet. Shout out Kirby Smart on Twitter. She said, you know, it's a bad weekend in Georgia sports when your only team that got a win is the Falcons. And I was like, you know, that's kind of on point. That's a little rough.
And a walk-off as well at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Come
Shout
on.
out
Young
Georgia,
Ho.
Georgia Southern's finest, baby. Young Wei Koo.
Oh, Young Wei.
Young Wei Koo,
Sorry.
man.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. Explained to my wife yesterday about the Asian kicker is the one that saves your day. It was pretty funny. Because Blake, I was talking to the boys here lately. Hannah's learning the ways of football. Like, as a football watcher, I guess I should say. She watched Red Zone for the first time. And just imagine, like, the first time you don't know what this is. She was like, this is, like, stressful and overwhelming. And she's like, who's this guy talking? I'm like, that guy doesn't use the bathroom for 7 hours. 7.5 hours?
7 hours of commercial-free football. That man is a hero. He is the only thing that gets us through the fall months.
Scott Hansen,
Scott Hansen. An angel gifted to us from the Lord. I mean,
that is his name, right?
Yeah.
Scott Hansen.
Okay, I thought I was
right.
like,
okay.
He's somebody I always question if I got his name right. He is one of my top guys. Like, I forget his name every single time I see him. So, but Scott Hansen got us through a day. So we were learning little things about football, and she's like, so yesterday we stuck to one game.
Nice.
Stuck to the Falcons Saints.
Nice.
I popped in red zone every once in a while. We were doing some food making. It was one of those days. We had the banana bread rainy day. Big family day we were rocking in. It was great. Loved it. But we were learning about, the rivalry of the Saints Falcons. She doesn't know any of this stuff. So just learning the aspects of football has been a treat for me.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
So yeah, red zone, Youngway Koo. Those are our lessons from the last 2 weeks.
I took a nap during the 4 o'clock hour. Was not into it at all.
I did the same thing.
Scott lost me.
That 4 o'clock nap saved me, though.
Oh, yeah.
It was necessary. It was all about 15 minutes. But they say the 15-minute nap is the best nap.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not enough to get into, like, deep sleep.
Yeah.
So you're just like, you wake up and you're like, that was a nice little refresher.
Yeah.
I know this is a sore spot, but we saw a king sit on his throne last night. Can we talk about it?
Oh.
How do you feel, man? I mean, getting Tony Pollard, right? Getting Tajay Spears. I mean, you think that this is going to be a fast, nimble offense, 2 slash and cutting running backs, and you see the one and only. My man is, 300 yards away from being I think the last running back ever to run for 10,000 yards. How you feeling about it?
I mean, it's hard seeing him in that Ravens jersey.
Isn't it?
Above all,
Isn't it?
What is it about the Titans to the Ravens, whether it be McNair, whether it be Derek Mason, whether it be Jamari Roll, really difficult. But, never have a thing against Derrick Henry.
It's a pipeline, but yeah, you were always love the king. Yeah, man.
But it's nice to see what he could do with an actual offensive line, right?
Yes. Yes. And it's on minimal carries, too. Like, he's absolutely, doing his thing, getting great volume. Took 187 yards to the house.
Didn't know he still had that in him.
I didn't know he had that extra shift still.
Something that big shouldn't be able to move that fast. That's just unfair.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's not it's got to break some law of physics. It has to. Oh, quick shout out our boy G in the chat. Let's get it, boys. Shout out to Greg Lerner.
We love you, G.
I guess I guess he's on his way back.
I think so. Yeah.
I love that.
Maybe. Well, it depends if he's made it out of Atlanta yet. He could be in Atlanta traffic because Atlanta traffic is.
It's the worst.
It's the worst.
It's the worst.
It's the worst.
Rainy day. Get out of here.
Oof.
Blake, we appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts? Give us a little love for the Chattanooga Titans fans. Anything you guys got going on?
Yeah, man.
What this does every week.
Yeah, Chattanooga Titans fans, we watch every game here at Tailgate Brewery at the corner of Main and Market here in downtown Chattanooga. We have watch parties every single event, whether it's a Sunday game, Monday game, Thursday game, whenever game, we're here. We have giveaways. We rally the fans. We do the chants. But we're here for better, for worse. If the team's undefeated or if the team hasn't won a game, we're here just the same. So come join us down here at Tailgate.
They're the best, man, and you're the best. Thanks for hopping on. Dude, I'm pumped for you and all these guys that you're doing. I know the departure of our good friend Brian Hager always, as he sets off to greater sales in the South, but he is enjoying. You guys have traded spaces.
Yeah, he did the reverse Blake. I moved here from Gulf Shores, and then they moved down to Orange Beach. So
yeah, but I know you and Chris have done a great job here. Chris Horton, the most extravagant Titans fan with the big chain. You got to see that for the first time.
Beautiful. Need one of those in another Tennessee team.
Oh, that'd be bright. Wouldn't it?
I gotta have that.
That'd be bright. We're gonna save the Titans talk probably for later, or probably later on in the week. We'll see how this goes.
We've traded turnovers so far.
We have traded turnovers. Man, that is what a thought that everybody else had tonight. Was like, we're probably gonna watch a weird game every Monday night, especially like the 7:30 doubleheader game is kind of always weird.
Oh yeah.
So we're in for it. So. Like, you can go in there and watch the game, man. We'll be in there in a little bit, and we'll ask some more questions.
All right, fellas. Tighten up.
Tighten up. You're the man. Thanks, Blake. Blake Shoemaker. 3 claps one time. Dang. I'm not gonna lie to you. The hips are a little tight. I'm gonna go switch over to that one.
You tough. You gonna space out a little bit.
Yep.
You do your thing, man. There's a question I wanted to pose to you. I meant to try to pose it before Blake left, but because I feel like it'll be relevant depending upon still tomorrow. I know we're watching the game now, but this episode will be up tomorrow. Where do the Titans go from here? Given both scenarios, say they win tonight, they beat the Dolphins, or say they lose, which just seems like a nightmare, total nightmare scenario given the state of the Dolphins. Where do the Titans go from here? And what do you make of the season if you say start 0-4 or you're 1-3?
I mean, if you start 0-4, I think you easily have to field some trade requests. I'd say primarily for an aging DeAndre Hopkins. I think that's the first thing. I mean, I try and get that off my books. Calvin really stays because of that brand new contract, but you got to get some offensive line help if you're the Titans. So I do think that you look to invest in that. That would primarily be my first thing. And then also, you have to look at Mason Rudolph, right?
I think so.
He's a backup quarterback.
I guess it depends on maybe how you lose.
Yeah.
Like if Levis plays well and you just lose, do you give him a shot to keep going? You kind of commit to him the rest of the year.
I mean, personally, he has not played a lot of football, but it's a decision every single game that you're just like, how did this guy get drafted that high?
Yeah.
Wow. What a Chase Green is
beautiful.
Guys, y'all don't understand how cold this man is. He's a total player. Really. He's a total athlete.
I apologize for all this movement and sound.
Yeah, we're good. We're working it out.
We're doing our best here. Limited setup opportunities at Tailgate.
I'm holding.
Or not limited, but just odd options.
Look at that.
We're trying.
Y'all saw that strength?
Shoulder mobility, shoulder strength. Malcolm Harris.
Listen,
man was in a full suit before he came out.
He's in a full suit now. Had to do what I had to do.
Here we go. We are going high arcing shots here.
Oh, y'all are up there. I feel so like
Joseph. Do you want a chair?
No, I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
As someone who's normally the tallest in the group, it's nice to not be for once.
Here we go. I can move that camera. We can get dicey here.
I'm good. We're golden, boys.
I wonder how we sound. I don't even know if if anybody's listening, let us know how we sound. If it's terrible, we're sorry. We'll make it work.
If it's awful.
What do we got over here?
Kind of on the fly here a little bit. So
I'm not talking to the mic.
He's talking to me.
Just talking in the air, Biggie?
Talking like I got a mic. So we got a couple things. We got some garlic knots.
Yep.
Got a pound of buffalo nuggets.
Oh.
Got a nice little Tennessee lager. And then to top it off, my personal fave is the nacho, the taco loaded fries?
Loaded taco fries?
Yes.
I believe is what you called them earlier.
All right, give us a rating of these taco fries.
Okay, let's see.
They look absolutely incredible. I mean, waffle fries, concession stand nacho cheese. What's not to love?
What is not to love?
It's like a Taco Bell and your concession stand at high school had a child.
So,
yeah.
Like if you, hear me out on this. You went to Taco Bell.
Yep.
You get a cantina chicken bowl, but instead of chicken or the base layer, you get them to put it nacho fries.
That's it. That's exactly it. Word for word, bar
God,
for bar.
sounds incredible.
It does sound good.
That sounds
Y'all,
so good.
I got some plates. I want to share.
I will not say no.
All right, here we go. Live in Living Color. We are doing the most on-the-fly live show ever. Apologize for if you don't like it. We're having fun. This is a good day. This is a great day.
I think it's an awesome day.
I've been wanting to get out here to Tailgate, and I'm glad let's do weather talk, but glad this is over because this feels awesome out on this patio. Tailgate getting this patio was one of those things, like it was building up and you saw it, but then now you're out here and you're like, this thing is massive. Like this is probably the biggest patio that I think in probably the city.
Yeah, easily.
Probably the biggest patio in the city, and it looks awesome. And we have too much room. Like we were talking about, there's too much space out here.
Incredible.
We got nachos. Half price apps is one of the best ideas, especially you want to get people out here on a Monday Night Football. We got you.
Anyways, on some apps, split them with the group.
All right, back to football talk. I guess we'll try to get back in line here. Not the most QB day ever for me here.
Yeah.
Dishing out fumbles and turnovers, but here we go.
It happens.
Yeah, it's all right.
You're just embodying your own quarterback.
Yes,
sorry.
exactly.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
That
It's fine. Yeah, you can suck it, Joseph.
I
anyways,
can't say anything.
Yeah.
Georgia turned the ball over.
All right, here we go. Miggy makes me a plate. This is what a good host does.
What a man.
Yeah, they do this on game day, so we can do it too.
All right. They bring them food. They eat on game day. We can eat.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
Well, the question I had posed, I guess, is probably not a good time to answer it while the man himself is serving food. I wanted to get his thoughts on the Falcons getting a win over the high-powered Saints. Aints, I guess, would be a better.
I'm gonna put the plates on hold, fellas.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
gotta answer this. Whenever it came to the Atlanta Falcons, I'm concerned. I am. But I'm not.
Concerned about what?
I'm concerned about 3 items. Number 1, I'm concerned about defensive line play. It's still, after all the investments outside of Matthew Judon, it's not good. It's not good. I mean, the Saints are running down the Falcons' throats for 3.5 quarters.
Okay.
Second thing I am worried about is Kyle Pitts.
Goose egg, brother.
Goosey.
I mean, just a ghost out there. Like,
I don't know what's up with him, man.
My little brother and I had a fantasy matchup this week with Gesicki versus Pitts.
I hate Gesicki.
Well, he beat me with 0.1 points.
He had 1 catch for -9 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what happens when I pick up a fantasy error. That's probably on me. I'm sorry.
Chase, I'm with you, man. I also have Kyle Pitts on my team on one league, and I have Gesicki in the other team. I have not started Kyle Pitts, not once.
Did you just automatically think, like, if we just change guys, Kyle Pitts would become something?
Yeah, because he's shown it in the past, but maybe it might be Kyle Pitts at this moment. It might be. But there's so much attention to him always. I'm weird about it. But to go catchless is weird, man.
It is. Let me ask you, I know yesterday wasn't the perfect day, but the progression of Drake London, you got to be feeling pretty positive about that.
Well, I think Alontae Taylor's a top 10 corner in the NFL.
Yeah.
I really do. I think he's amazing. I think Drake had a great day. I think the best player on the Atlanta Falcons roster, if you're going the first 4 weeks, it's not even close. It's Darnell Mooney.
He's been hot.
The catches he's made, the one that he'd had down the sideline. Now, Cousin threw a perfect ball, which, Mooney had to lay out for, but that was the perfect ball. And I look at those and I'm like, it's so funny, like, how quarterbacks will have this connection with your air quotes number 2 guy.
Right.
And you're like, oh, they just got it. And Mooney's not a big guy. Now, obviously, he is lightning quick and can do all the stuff, but not a big guy. And has shown, like, some okay games here and there, don't get me wrong, but he's never been this kind of option for somebody. And Cousins crushes it. And it made me think about it. And now, again, this guy had a great day yesterday too, but Jordan Addison, like, they're similar-ish.
Guys, I told you guys a few weeks ago at another live show of ours, so the best 1-2 punch in football is Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. They're figuring it out quickly.
Oh,
Minnesota, Sam Darnold. Man. I'm sorry, JJ might get. I mean, he's going to stay because he's on a rookie deal. He's already signed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You don't have to trade him.
No.
But Sam Darnold's getting a paycheck from somebody now.
Probably the Minnesota Vikings.
Probably the Minnesota. I mean, if I'm Minnesota, like, why not keep him? I mean, you really don't know. Like, you have an idea of what JJ's going to be, but I don't think you really know what JJ's going to be. You know what Sam Darnold is. I'm not saying you have to pay him. You don't have to pay him, I guess, a competitive quarterback salary. You ain't got to drop $50 million a year, but 20?
25, 30?
$20 million a year on a 4-year deal? Like, where's Sam Darnold going to get that and playing time anywhere else?
Yeah.
Nowhere. It's going to be worth playing at, you know? Like, I mean, maybe if Carolina's like, hey, Sam, but that already happened once.
100%. No, I mean, Carolina's – we love Market Street.
Market Street, thank you.
Market Street.
Noise.
Woo! Middle of downtown, baby.
Speaking of beautiful, man, Detroit Lion uniforms.
You like the dark?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so – dude, I'm not going to lie. It makes me want to be a Lions fan. I don't want to hop on the bandwagon because I feel like that's just wrong. But, like, those blue helmets and black jerseys.
They look great.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Last night, even though I usually despise the Ravens because of what they've done as a Titans fan, those black unis at night make you want to be a fan.
Cold.
Make you want
Just
to
cold.
be a fan.
Just absolutely cold.
And when they look that awesome, like I was listening to part of my take, and they're like, it adds like 5 extra points
Oh, yeah.
to your intimidation factor.
Dude. Especially,
Easy.
like, big Derrick Henry running at you. People were making business decisions last night, getting out of his way.
Yep.
And what was, what's his name? Patrick Ricard?
Yep.
Oh, my. Decisions were made to get out of that man's way.
Yeah. I always wonder, like, if you're an NFL like linebacker or safety or especially corner,
Oh, my
and Derrick
goat.
Henry is coming your way,
You're my goat.
I'm like, how many? If we're losing this ball game pretty bad, am I bailing? Am I going to bail on this guy, or am I going to be the tough guy? I always kind of wondered that about myself. Like in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to always play hard. I'm like,
Yep.
but if it's like $10 million in the line, if I play all year, or whatever, a milli, if I play all 16 games, I'm like, we're already down 3 touchdowns. I'm out.
I mean, if it's Derrick Henry, dude, like,
That hurts, man.
that does not. Listen, as somebody who was a very average athlete and never had any chance of even breathing, touching, and playing in the NFL, there's not anybody I would want to hit in the NFL. But last on that list, now that Aaron Donald is gone, is Derrick Henry.
And guys, breaking news: we have a quarterback change.
Uh-oh.
Mason Rudolph has entered the game for Will Levis. Plug has been pulled.
Wow. Here we are.
Things got interesting.
Things got interesting. This is live commentary for the Titans' downfall. Maybe Mason can
It's
at least,
rough out here.
because I always think about Mason if like on a good team, like he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You
Absolutely.
were going to go 500 or slightly above or 500 every single year. He can do that.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's where I want to be. I'm in a weird spot where let's just call it. Let's call it for the year. Just go ahead and
Load
tank.
up shop.
Yeah. Rest our players. Everybody comes back healthy for 2025. Of course, he completes the pass in the first time. But it just, I don't know. I had hopes for Levis, even though drafting him, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I went on this pod and said it multiple times, or went on the radio, I guess, back then.
Yep.
The former version of this pod. Here we go. Loud card. Oh, we got motorcycles coming in. Thank you. This is going to be great. Oh, not that bad.
No,
Not that bad.
easy
so
enough.
far. Oh, JK, here we go. Not too
think we're
bad.
good.
Not
I
too
think
bad.
we're
All right. But Levis is one of those guys where it's in there, like the arm talent, the athleticism. He's got the look.
He's got the
Absolutely.
grit, man. Like, he's tough. He'll hang in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, physicality. Like if he could put it together, he is the quarterback you want.
The decision making is just
And it always has been.
bad.
And it always has been. It's just frustrating, man. It's just frustrating to watch. I always wonder, too, with Levis, and it might have been from that Kentucky last season of just the seeing the ghost stuff, and you feel like you have to be Superman. Like, we always joke about how that's what Caleb had to do last year, the whole, whatever his time in the pocket was, something crazy like 4.5 seconds, and not time in the pocket. Holding onto the ball, I guess, is more the stat. But
Yeah, because he didn't have any time in the pocket.
he didn't have a pocket. But it's like with Levis, I kind of wonder if it was the same thing coming out of Kentucky, and it's just a habit he's not broken.
Yeah.
May never break. He does look like he's going to go back in here, but I struggle to find the value in Levis if he's just never going to correct those mistakes. Like, you can hold on to hope for as long as you want to, but you're not even seeing like Jordan Love stuff right now.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, 4 picks, 3 picks, 4 touchdowns. But in the second half, you're like, holy crap! Sure, it might have been a lax version of the Vikings, but you're still thinking like, holy crap! This guy's got it.
Yeah.
We're not seeing out of that at Levis. Of the games yesterday, besides Falcons,
Yep.
who surprised you the most?
Give me the Minnesota Vikings. I'd say just to go and just look at Green Bay and go up by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Give me them, and then a close second place, the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Bucks.
Put it on Philadelphia.
Bakers.
The score looked closer than what it was. Y'all, Jalen Hurts is slipping into tier 2, I'm afraid.
Man has the most turnovers in the league, I think, since last year.
Yep.
I think so.
That's crazy because going into last year, he was a guy where you thought, give me top 4 quarterback position. If I was going to start a franchise, he's up there. He's moving up in that ranking of, if I'm going to start a franchise today, I want Jalen Hurts on my team, because you saw him after that Super Bowl and you're like, man,
Yeah.
the athleticism.
You thought it was there.
Yeah,
You
you're
thought
like,
it was
he's
there.
starting to get accuracy
Yep.
down, and timing looked great. And it just goes to show you sometimes an offensive coordinator can make the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And we've seen it before. Like, guys go and leave, and you're like, oh, this quarterback ain't the same.
No.
It ain't the same.
Well, it's not as easy when it's drawn up for them, and when it's just made easy for them. And I feel like you see that a lot more in college, obviously, but
Definitely.
sometimes, man, or maybe the offense just isn't clicking, or it takes some time to install. And then it's funny because you'll see these guys that struggle in this, and then they'll go 2 minute and they really simplify the playbook. They break it into like these small units. It's a little more digestible, and they'll look fine.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so maybe it's just the system. Maybe it's like too much for them to look at now, and it takes some time to fully install. But a question from the Chattanooga Titans fans. If Mason scores, he has to stay in, right? I'm assuming they're talking about Mason Rudolph.
100%.
Yeah.
No question.
You keep him in the rest of the game.
I mean, is it really like, even if he scores, or if you move the ball, like he comes in, you move the ball, maybe you punt or get a field goal.
If
He
you get
comes
it,
in,
yeah.
moves the ball again. Like if he just moves the ball on a consistent basis.
Yeah, if you get the field goal here, you keep him in for the next drive. And if it goes bad, then you go back to Levis, I guess. I don't know. I think this really did feel like a breather point for Levis.
Yeah.
But like right here, like you're going to keep him in. Like, yeah, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't a great little screenplay right there, but you keep him in and you see what you got, because you're moving the ball and you're getting points on the board, hopefully, here. Bingo.
And
Down
Nick
the
Folk
pipe.
nails it.
Boom.
My guy. I'm going to move this
Is that
camera over.
53-yard attempt, I think. What do you say? He's moving what?
You got to move the camera over. We're making some in-game adjustments.
Oh,
In-game adjustments.
halftime adjustment. Oh, look at the man. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at you.
God, beautiful.
I wouldn't even thought about that.
Absolutely beautiful.
Y'all like this little table I made? This little table over here?
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
The innovation. Oh, wow. We got the Station Street. Oh, dang.
We look good, boys.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm going to get this giant glare off your face.
I just a little bright. Just a little bright. I'm
Shout
glowing.
out to you, Chase. Making facilities,
The
man.
man himself.
I got you. Yeah, this is always interesting on these live shows. This is going to definitely not going to be on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to upload this to Spotify tomorrow. I'm just going to be honest with everybody. This is going
Oh,
to be.
dude, it's
This is a live
Let it roll.
show. Just
Yeah.
kind of watching the Titans.
Yeah.
We'll make some cuts out of it for Blakey because he's the man.
He
Thanks
is
for
the
coming
man.
out here, Blake Shoemaker. We'll go inside and get some content with the boys. But I'll tell you what, the
What's up?
Vikings yesterday, I was trying to keep up on my phone. Let's just
Yeah.
say there's a couple apps open just
Oh,
in
yeah.
case
Oh,
because
yeah.
of the Minnesota Vikings and Green Bay Packers.
you were standing by ready.
I was, just in case, And I was looking at it and I was like, it does have a feeling like the Vikings are going to go 4-0 and just be the shock. Now, they could wind up losing that division. But right now, Kevin O'Connell's coach of the year, right?
Yes, but I think his assistant coach is out coaching him. Brian Flores has absolutely been sensational through 4 weeks. They have one of the best defenses in football.
Yeah.
Like, Pittsburgh was amazing. Of course, they took their first loss yesterday. Minnesota is not that far off. So, absolutely love it. Love what I'm seeing from them. Yeah, it's some good stuff all the way around, man.
Got a little Michael Jackson background.
Yeah, we love some good music. Station Street's lovely. Imagine doing this on a Friday.
Oh man,
It'd be
Vibes.
pandemonium.
I would love this. I'm telling you guys, I guess I haven't been up here yet.
I've never been up here till right now.
I think I legit thought this was half the size of what it actually is,
Mhm.
and it was still big. Like I was like, oh, we're going to basically cut off in front of us, and we've got we're 5 tables deep,
Yep.
however you want to look at this.
Something like that.
This is impressive.
It's a nice space.
It is
Real
very
nice
nice. Yeah, love this. Here we go, Titans. All right, this is the most. Like, if you are a betting man, you're looking at this game and you're like, I'm taking the Dolphins because the Titans definitely should win this. The Titans are 0-3. You're really struggling at the quarterback position if you're Miami. And now you just got to win. Like, this has got to be a game where Levis goes for 2 tutties, no picks. And here we are in a fight.
I'll put a little play together for Tyreek
Yeah.
and Devin Achane to get 5 yards in the first quarter.
Because if you're a smart football fan, you're like, if Malik Willis and the Green Bay Packers
Yeah.
can beat you, why should Tyreek Hill and whomever's a quarterback? Malcolm Harris could be a quarterback.
Tyler Huntley.
Yep,
I think
Tyler
is who we
Huntley.
got. We got a quarterback tonight for the Dolphins.
Well, I just want to let y'all know that bet did not cash. They had 1 yard. Tyreek had 1 yard receiving in the first quarter.
That is tough.
Yeah.
That's a yikes.
It's all right. There's a dragonfly the size of Texas that just has joined the live production, and he is gone.
He gone.
He is gone.
What do you boys make of the 49ers yesterday?
Still not sold, man. Something's missing.
It looks a little. I mean, I know they got Debo back yesterday. He still looks
Hurt.
He looks better, but he still looks like he's playing in some pain.
Yeah.
They got Kittle back yesterday too.
That catch Kittle made yesterday was
my
amazing,
God.
wasn't
Ridiculous.
it? Dude, the 49ers, at first, I didn't know how bad the Debo injury was.
Yep.
Mhm.
But I felt like they were about to be another victim of losing the Super Bowl, have the year from hell.
Yeah.
It felt like it was going that way. I think they're keeping their head above water.
Yep.
Didn't win in that game yesterday. They won, right? They wound up coming back.
Yeah,
they won.
they beat
Yeah, they won.
the Patriots.
Yeah, that's
Fred
right.
Warner had a pick 6. Fred Warner continues to be just an absolute force.
I love that
Absolute
guy.
force. Dude, I mean, he is incredible.
I'll say this: if the Titans wind up losing this game, I'm gonna trade my fandom, and it's gonna be between. I think I want to join the Falcons because I'm gonna get to watch them.
Come on.
Yep.
But it seems like pretty big turmoil. But
It's
if I
tough.
could, I wish this would have happened last year, and I could have jumped on a new train. This 49ers would just be awesome.
Yeah.
Because you got to love Fred Warner.
You do.
You got the dog out there.
Got the
JJ15.
dog.
Jawan Moss.
Not a bad day yesterday.
Yeah.
Not a great.
Well,
not 3 toadies.
Coming up with 185 and 3 tutties.
But I mean, Debo and Greg are back, so you had to expect his production. Not because of Jawan as a player, but like you had to expect his production to drop because they want to get Debo involved. They want to get Greg and like that. You knew that was coming, or George, not Greg. You
Yeah.
want to get George Kittle involved. You knew that was coming. So like, but it's nice to have that
It is.
because it feels like Ayuk got his money and just
He's checked out.
It sucks, dude.
He sucks right now. I have him on fantasy, and I'm not starting him regardless of anything next week.
he's tough.
He's
man.
just
Like
not good.
he was the guy I would have expected to step up and do what Jawan Jennings did. 3 touchdowns.
Same.
100 and something yards, and then it's just not. Just hasn't happened.
Yeah. I hate to say it, man. Training camp matters. Training camp matters, and especially if you're going to hold out. And
Yeah.
like I'm sure if you're in that position too, you got to imagine he's like trying to like prevent all injuries. So I don't know how hard these workouts are. I don't know how hard. He's definitely not having any contact while you're holding out for this contract. You don't want one weird injury to happen.
No.
But for him, I'm with you guys. I thought he would just wind up turning around and being a stud and be like, I got my money now. Here's my play.
Yeah.
And it ain't there. Because it's not like him and Brock don't have a connection.
No. I mean, he's just sluggish. It's just not crispy. I don't know. When it comes to Brandon Ayuk, I think he does what every big-time player does kind of when they get that big contract. And he didn't have a training camp either, and you can definitely tell because the rust is there. So.
Yeah. Where do you guys see? I kind of want to stay in the NFC west here.
Okay.
I was falling victim like the first 2 or 3 weeks of the Cardinals are awesome, and they might wind up doing their, 5-1, even maybe like a 6-2 start.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Dude, the Commanders are awesome.
Jaden Daniels is incredible.
Commanders are
bro.
awesome.
Holy shit.
How good is that guy?
I mean, like, all I can think about watching him is, and I know we're on the NFL, and I know it's
No, go back.
all I can
kinda
think
wanna
about,
go there
man,
too.
is Brian Kelly. What are you doing? I mean, you wasted just an incredible talent because you just couldn't get a stop.
You
Couldn't
could not
on
get a
defense.
stop.
I mean, you didn't have to get that many. You just had to get one. You had to get one.
Yeah,
And I don't know, man.
it feels like a waste, doesn't it?
It feels like it feels the equivalent of what Lincoln Riley did with Caleb Williams. It's just a waste.
I mean, like almost like a weird mirror image.
Yeah. It feels like
That is so true.
it feels like those
Wow.
teams were the same exact team. Great on offense. Of course, LSU had better weapons than USC. Brian Thomas Jr.
True.
and,
Yep.
but I mean, they were the same team. They were the exact same team. We're going to score a lot of points.
Yeah.
We're going to give up just as many, if not more.
Yeah. And if your quarterback doesn't make unbelievable plays, you're going to lose badly. And we saw that with Caleb a couple times. Like if he's not having his day, I think it was the first Utah game maybe he had that was really struggle. I can't remember which one it was, that or the Washington game. Either way, but Jaden, did you guys hear the Herbie speech he gave? I'm sure they threw it back from like the NFL draft.
No, what do
I
you
don't
say?
think so, no.
Okay, so Kirk Herbstreit, who shout out to my Aunt Sissy, she's like, I want you to be Kirk Herbstreit.
Oh, he will be.
She's always wanted me to be Kirk Herbstreit, and I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to be that guy. Hey, I'm not as articulate.
We love Kirk, man.
We love Kirk. Now, I'm gonna say this real quick before I go there.
Go.
I think Kirk Herbstreit is having a big glow up because your boy is looking too jacked in suits nowadays.
Oh,
Dude.
no, he looks great, dude.
We love bro Kirk Herbstreit has emerged because of McAfee.
Yes.
The energy change. Like, he feels so much more. He feels,
You got it. Got you, baby.
He feels loose.
He does feel
loose, man.
He's got a real friend.
Like, he can kind of bro down a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, he's still serious Kirk, but he can also, like, he's like, listen, I'm going to nerd out on football, and it's going to be great, but I can also bro down. And I love it, man.
I think that's why game days change, right?
I think that, but then also one thing I really want to give Kirk his props for is the way that he's still showing so much love and admiration for Coach Lee Corso.
Oh, dude,
You know,
man.
knowing what we all know about Lee and him being older, and he always makes him feel included.
Yeah.
And I really love that because I know it's taxing seeing your friend kind of go and decline, but I can't say enough about Kirk. He's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, sportscaster right now.
He's the voice of college football, man.
Easily.
And he's incredible.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, Mickey, like it is like that empathy that he has, and I think that's a thing that we talk about, like his communicators. As somebody that tries to work on this all the time, is not always wonderful at it. Like Kirk, to make Lee feel so included means so much because he doesn't make it awkward. There's no pity party bull crap that he does. Like Lee, and that helps Lee. Like if you are able, as a communicator, you're able to make somebody else feel that way, but also not feel like an old man or feel dumb. It adds so much. And like Lee probably knows, like he struggles a little bit with speech, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But they do a really good job, and McAfee adds to that. And like that game day group, is a dream of mine for all of us to be there.
For sure.
So here's your little token for that one day.
Boom. We're coming.
So, but like the way they are a group that includes each other, and like you can really tell they care. And adding Pat McAfee is like one of those deals where I know it's divisive to some, but the numbers don't lie, boys. The numbers don't lie. That boy is incredible for that show. And there goes, dadgummit.
Tony Pollard was so close.
Tony Pollard's so close to having that tutty.
They are gashing the Miami Dolphins right now.
Gashing. But anyways, I do want to go back to this Kirk Herbstreit thing.
Yeah.
Super circle back. So Kirk was like, hey, I think this was couple weeks before the draft.
Okay.
He's like, you guys are going to talk about Caleb. You guys are going to talk about all your special quarterbacks that are this size or this look, and you're going to say this guy's only a system type quarterback with he's only going to be able to run. He's not going to be able to do this in the NFL. But Jaden Daniels is going to be the guy, and he like really went into it. You know, Kirk's got a great football mind, and so he kind of goes into a small amount of depth for like things that he does well, and it's like, man, that was a great cut. And you're going to see this, I'm sure our phones are listening now. So if you get this content on your phone now, you're welcome.
It's worth watching.
Yeah, here you go, algorithm. So it is one of those things for him. It's like Kirk knew right away. He's like, there are some things you can see in quarterbacks now with the NFL that they just translate differently than they used to. Like you're not going to see, and I just want to be honest, like, yes, it's most of the time it's nice to have your big 6'4" quarterback that's 235 pounds that can freaking sling it. And as a prototype, that's usually the way you should probably go.
Yeah.
But Jaden is built different.
Oh,
Jaden, just the way he moves and operates, and like, I think a big part for him, and the main thing these coaches have gone after is like, watch a rookie quarterback get dudes to buy in. Leadership, the way he's talking. Did y'all see him, like he and Cliff Kingsbury, like talking to each other in the 2-minute drill 2 weeks ago?
They are a match made in heaven for one another. They? I mean, I love what Cliff was able to do with Kyler. Jaden, to me, sees the field a little differently because I love the way he uses his legs, but he's got some great tools around him, and just his skill set is impeccable. It really is.
Sorry, I'm just hammering down.
No, you're good.
Do your thing, man.
You're good. You're good. Again, this is not going on streaming platforms, correct?
No,
we're being ourselves.
We're just live showing it.
Yeah, we're just
that's all we got to do.
Watch partying it. We're watch partying it up, man.
That's great.
If you do want a good pod, thanks for showing up a little late on the Saturday show, Malcolm.
Yeah,
but I loved having you.
Yeah, so funny enough, I got home from a event, and
oh my gosh.
Oh, who is that?
That's
Calvin
Hopkins.
Ridley.
No, Calvin, yeah.
Is that Calvin Ridley?
As much as I'd love D-Hop to be able to move like that, that boy can't move like that
my
anymore.
goodness.
That's why I was shocked. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I got my guys with dreadlocks confused.
Listen, I get it, brother. I get it. No,
D-Hop used to be able to move like that when he was wearing an orange jersey. And
I thought that was 2022 Miggy.
Come on now. Come on now.
Dreads.
Miggy at the
listen. 2022 Miggy. That's prime. It's prime. Well, no, prime is right now. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. My life has changed since I went bald, folks.
Riverwalk Miggy is prime, dog.
Listen, I'm getting out there.
It's great.
Can I tell y'all a story real quick? We got time?
Of course,
dude.
So I'm going to work out, do my thing, get my little 4 miles in, run my little trail.
Yeah.
Really, it's like a wog. Y'all know what a wog is? It's a walking jog.
Yeah.
Former fatty here, I know.
So I'm out there wogging, listening to my music, and I'm seeing all these signs, and I'm like, oh, these people are here with orange slices. There's some waters out there. I was like, oh, nice. Bro, I'm running the trail for the Iron Man. And I'm like, damn, I'm stuck. Because it's like, bro, like I didn't know what to do because I didn't pay attention. And I kind of hopped it's like a fence gated off area, but there's a little nook that you can just bypass all the signage. So I'm just walking out there and I'm seeing people like look at me all crazy. I'm like, well, good morning, y'all too. Y'all are strange. It didn't dawn on me. There's about to be a marathon here in an hour and a half. So I was like, do I Uber home? Because I walked. I was like, do I Uber home or do I just go all the way back home in a really fast pace? I took the latter. And I busted my tail to get home. Yeah, I was so tired when Red Zone started at 1 o'clock.
I'll say this. You got one person thinking, that guy's leading this thing?
Like, bro, I'm out there with a fanny pack, my little tights on, my little shirt on, a little backwards lookouts out. Shout out to the lookouts. And literally, man, this lady, like Miss Jennifer, is looking like, oh, we're calling the cops, buddy. Like, who are you? I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then she explained. I was like, oh, so I should probably. And she was like, well, you might want to. I mean, they're going to come down here any minute. And I'm like, talk about pressure to perform. Yeah. I had to get up out of there. But best workout I've had in some time.
Heart rate was like 2,000.
Oh, heart rate was crazy.
Dog, that's so funny.
Yeah, man. So
I'm proud of you,
I
though. Hey, you're
appreciate it,
still getting it in.
I'm still getting it in.
Yeah.
Still getting it in.
Y'all
Still
should
getting
see
it in.
this man rolling up in his black outfit today, like
Come
this
on,
dude.
three-piece suit. Good interview today, hopefully. And God, I don't even know where the heck we were. What we got in the comments over here?
We were
Anything?
talking about our boy Greg. He said we missed on G's Commanders. We did. I don't think anybody expected them to be as good as they are. After that,
No.
he said they've looked so much better than the Giants. They're the most exciting team in the NFC East. I don't disagree with that.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Most exciting team for sure.
I heard this comment today, and it's probably the most accurate. When you see the roster for the Redskins, Commanders, shout out to Ed Tolley. When you see the Commanders roster on the defensive side, you're like, how in the world do they get stops? But they do it, man. They do it. Now, they did not against the Bengals, but that's the Bengals.
Well, I mean, it's T. Higgins, man. It's T. Higgins, and it's really Jamar Chase. I will say,
Ooh, that boy's ready to play.
they need each other. They need each other.
T
They're
and
both
Jamar.
not ones, I don't feel like.
Yeah.
T and Jamar need each other to be successful.
The Chase guys had a good week this week. Chase Brown had 2 tutties this
Oh
weekend.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm glad they're back into form and at least winning football games. But the Commanders definitely have been the most exciting team. And offensively, man, like watching the way Jaden controlled the final drives for the Commanders against the Bengals, I was in because I watched that one. You know, everybody kind of wanted to, and it was. Listen, I know some people love defensive football, but if you give me a score every freaking drive, that's fun to watch.
You're
too.
taking it.
It's pretty awesome. So with Jaden yesterday, I was like, man, I can see you having one performance every 3 or 4 games, but when you have back-to-back performances like that,
Consistency.
that means a lot more than doing the occasionally great. Now you're frequently good.
Yeah.
And that's what scares people because we hadn't even really seen that out of Caleb. I know he had a better day yesterday. DeAndre Swift, as soon as I bench him, has a good day.
Bro, isn't it crazy how he just looked so good yesterday?
Yeah.
What happened?
He went from the worst starting running back in football to very good.
Like, he was absolutely crushing yesterday. I will say, Caleb's going to get better. I feel that he just has to realize this, we're not playing Arizona State at 10:30 p.m. at night no more. You know, like these boys got families and wives.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know who it is, and I don't want to throw out a bunch of names because, you know, we're not – Kevin O'Connell's not going to Chicago or anybody like that. But whenever Eberflus goes, I think we'll see his step. And I hope they get the right coach, to be honest. I think – sorry, G-Money, I know you don't want the Bears to be better, but I think they're going to be. I'm with you, Miggy. I still think Caleb's a generational talent.
I know who he's going to get, and it's easy. We're seeing it unfold right in front of our very eyes. Cliff Kingsbury is going to be his next head coach. Yeah. You see the proof of the
Bears?
pudding. Yeah.
No, man, it's going to be Ben Johnson and the Lions.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think Cliff, because of the continuity, and they're going to ask Caleb, all right, this is your career, this is your team, this is your franchise, what do you want? And he's going to be like, bring me Cliff. Y'all see what he's doing right now with Jaden Daniels. And he asked, point blank period, for more aggressive play calling. Who is the most aggressive play caller in the NFL? Cliff Kingsbury.
Right now. And, dude, did y'all see the post-game stuff with Cliff?
No.
Man, you talk about a team, and I think that Commanders team's got that weird, and winning solves a lot. I get that, but they really like each other. They've got a good team camaraderie. They went crazy for Cliff because, you know, it was a matchup against the old team, and he beat the holy hell out of him.
Oh yeah.
And so they were like, the game ball goes to him, you know, typical coach speak, and it's like Cliff's and that place went crazy for Cliff. And so you're like, oh, okay, we got a guy. So I think they love him. And look, Cliff's just one of those dudes. Because of the way he looks, age, all that stuff, maybe he learns his lesson from Arizona. Not the greatest franchise in the world anyways, with or without him. You go to Chicago, not a great franchise with or without him, but it might be better. And now you have a much better slate. I still think Kyler's very, very talented.
Mhm.
He's the guy I can't quit. He's the crazy ex-girlfriend or whatever, if you want to look at it that way. But he's a guy that's super talented. He's the funnest guy to watch to me.
Yeah.
Now Jaden is up there, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Kyler is the funnest guy to watch because he also has an absolute rocket on his right shoulder. So I liked watching him. But yesterday was a fun matchup. That Cliff, that dude.
Bro, I want you to really think about this. Cliff Kingsbury. You know the 3 teams he had to play at least 6 times a year?
Number one.
One of them was anchored by the best defensive player of our lifetime, Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
All right? So you had to see them twice.
Yep.
2, he had to play the Seahawks, which are always competitive. And I believe he was on like the tail end of LO. Was he like LOB-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And like not prime Russ, but
like a
better Russ
serviceable
than-
Russ. And then, you got to play the 49ers, which have always had talent.
Oof.
Those teams even back then. So I'm telling y'all, Cliff is not bad. That's just a horrible situation. And Arizona was actually relevant for a little bit.
Yeah.
People forget, Kyler tore his ACL to shreds.
That's true.
And that was after a really hot start.
Yeah. So Cliff, to me, I'm all in. I'm all in.
He is a guy, too, from what it sounds like. Listen, I know this is interviews and post-game press conferences that you're watching here. Dadgummit, Tyler Huntley.
That's the first play he's made all night, though.
Yeah, I know. Still, it's annoying. But Cliff's a guy that I think he can learn from his own mistakes. He's a guy that I think was a younger, arrogant guy.
Yeah.
Got a head coaching job pretty early in his career, I guess, from a age standpoint. I know he's done a lot of coaching elsewhere, but
Yeah.
he's somebody I think can learn from his mistakes. I think he's a smart guy. Clearly offensive talent. And I think coordinators are getting better.
Mhm.
So if you find the right defensive guy, man, you're going to just do incredible things with the right people. Get that pick. Dadgummit.
So close.
Do y'all want to know the 4 quarterbacks, just off the top of my head,
4 quarterbacks
that he has coached?
Cliff?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right, listen to this list. Johnny Manziel during his Heisman Trophy season.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, then arguably it was an MVP season until his knee.
Yeah.
You have now Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
And then you also have Caleb Williams.
He was quarterbacks coach at USC, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Everywhere he
It's
goes,
not a bad resume.
everywhere he goes, there are generational performances from him. He's
And
elite,
it's-
man.
Yeah. I always wonder, too, like, I never want to pigeonhole these guys because
Yeah.
he could just wind up being like, he's almost too big of a personality to be a coordinator forever. But
Yeah.
if he were the type to be like, you know what, this is where I belong, he could just wind up being the greatest offensive coordinator of all time. There's those guys. I think
there's
Lincoln
some people that are
Raleigh's, I
meant to
think,
be.
you know,
Yeah.
Lincoln, I think, is a pretty good head coach. And clearly, if this thing works out this year, letting Alex Grinch go, and that team turns it around, and you are playing better defense. Sure, you missed some things the last 2 weeks, but if it turns around, then Cliff's another one that I was like, just stay as a coordinator, and you'll just be the best coordinator. Him, Ben Johnson, like those kind of guys, and there's more. You can go down the list, but
Yeah.
maybe that's where he belongs. But also just too big of a personality to stick there. So you're never going to see that.
And Mahomes. Oh, yeah, he did coach Mahomes at Texas Tech. Cliff Kingsbury did. He was
Oh,
the head coach
yeah.
at Texas Tech.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
and I forgot
Forgot
the
about
most arguably important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go, downtown Main Street.
Downtown,
Let's
baby. Greg asked Belichick to the Eagles or the Bears. Do we really think the Eagles are going to fire Nick Sirianni?
Yeah, it's done.
You
He's
think so?
he's not a CEO.
You can't beat
man.
the Bucks, man.
Is that David Montgomery?
Yes.
It is.
I wonder, like, where would all right, Eagles scenario, they're letting them go.
Okay.
Belichick or Vrabel for that team?
For the Eagles?
Yeah.
For me, it depends on how much of the current roster you're retaining.
I'll say
Because
this: if they lose again, it might happen in 2 weeks.
I
Are you
think
talking about Sirianni?
Yeah.
Oh, they're toast.
I think if you want to build for the future, Mike Vrabel. But if you come in and you're like, hey, we've got this entire roster and we've got everybody for about 2 years, you just hire Belichick and you probably win a Super Bowl with that much talent. I mean, I think it depends on what avenue you want to take. Because Vrabel, I think long term, obviously he's younger, so he'll be there longer.
Yeah.
But Belichick, I mean, if he takes a head coaching job, 5 years max, I mean, max, absolute max.
Yeah.
So I really think it depends on how much of that roster
I'm
you retain.
thinking. I personally would go Mike Vrabel, honestly, because they need a maker of men. Like the Philadelphia, you can tell, like they're kind of some crash outs. Like they're kind of dumb. They're kind of soft a little bit. Like they're undisciplined. There's no, like, I'm sorry, but Jalen Hurts, he speaks in Instagram captions. Love him to death. Would love him to date my daughter, right?
Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts, like, Jalen, how are you today? Well, if it's 1:45 and God wakes me up another day, survival will be that much stronger. What did you just say, Jalen Hurts?
That doesn't make any sense.
And that's how he talks. And it's just,
yeah.
I want him to be better, man. I want him to be better. And I think it starts at the head coaching position. I think Nick Sirianni, I think the best is behind him. Same for Jalen. I'd feel trade offers right now for Jalen Hurts.
Ooh.
Would you not flip Jalen Hurts for Devontae Adams in a second-round pick right now?
I don't know who their backup is. Do you know?
I don't know who their backup is.
I don't know either.
But you can trade for something nice. You can trade for a Jameis Winston and be competitive. Get that money off the books.
That's one like
Kenny Pickett is the backup quarterback.
Bro, okay.
No, you don't want that.
Let's keep Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, let's
bro.
trade. Yeah, let's keep Jalen.
Without Brown and Smith, it hasn't looked good. I mean, that's fair. It is. That's a good point. Yeah, Greg said without A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. But I mean, how many teams could lose that caliber receiver and still look
Not a lot.
good? I mean, the Eagles have been losing with both of them on the field, though.
True.
Like that's the issue.
You have the multiple turnovers. You have look, as talented as AJ is, he's a lot to play with. And if you're not doing good, you saw it last year. You saw the headache that can be AJ Brown, and now you go out and get Saquon. It's like, I understand that AJ's hurt, but you're still thinking in your mind with the talent of Saquon and what you think Jalen can be. We can keep our heads above water and we can beat this Bucs team, which is better than people think. But you saw the Lions take advantage of them, and I don't know, man. It's like you would at least think that they would keep up in their own division and not look like I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know if it's soft. I don't know what the right word is for them. Like, it's just frustrating to watch because Saquon is really good behind that line, and you just think that Jalen, they could just figure it out and get by. You know, who's their third guy right now? You know, I know
Jahan Dotson.
John
Or would it
Dotson.
be
And then you
Paris
got
Campbell?
You got Johnny Wilson from Florida State.
Yep.
6'8".
Yeah,
Go help Braun get 5.
Dude,
brother.
he feels so awkward, man.
Like, go help Braun, man.
Even when he was at Florida State, dude, he feels awkward. Like,
Florida State across the board is looking fraudulent. Keon Coleman,
One touchdown.
dude,
bro can't catch the football.
that throw from Josh Allen was, oh my god,
I'm pissed for Josh Allen.
It was incredible,
and I'm a
man.
Lamar
And
Jackson
Keon
stan.
Stephon makes that catch.
Yeah.
Stephon
Yeah.
makes that catch.
And Diggs ain't
Dude,
looking
I
too
think-
washed, by the way. He's looking.
No, that boy looked good down there.
Diggs looking
Stephon-
all right
Yeah.
down there in Houston.
Little rushing TD yesterday.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. The Eagles are very frustrating from what it sounds like. They can't wait to fire Sirianni. I think you got to do something soon.
I mean-
that's a fan base that, like, I don't care how tough of an owner you are. No, listen to the fans, gets me fired, but listen to the fans. It's bad up there, and you're going to feel that pressure no matter how tough or mentally strong you are or how much money you've made. Like, that is a lot to deal with up there.
And something that Greg said in the chat just made me think about this. He said they tried with Dotson, and he's been a 0. Jahan Dotson has not been what you thought that trade
he's
was going to be. And then he said the defense on paper should be amazing, and in reality, it's just not. On paper, is that the best roster in the NFL?
Easily. Not a doubt.
Like, in totality?
It's up there.
In totality. Who is close?
Texans. Totality, it probably is them. 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers.
So 49ers,
Yeah.
Eagles,
Texans.
Texans.
I'll say this though. The Atlanta Falcons on paper are in that echelon to
On
me.
paper, they
Yeah.
are.
I mean,
They're
Very
up
true.
there,
you think
yeah.
about it. You have spent 6 first-round picks on offense alone. They have 6 first-rounders.
Damn.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Damn.
7, including Michael Penix.
And if, man, I meant to say this when we talked about the Falcons earlier, but like, I don't think Kyle Pitts is a true tight end.
He's
He
a wide
feels more like
receiver.
a big body X receiver, like a
Yeah.
Julio Jones
Yeah.
type. Like if you put him on the outside and you had a true tight end, like a Dallas Goedert or somebody like that, I think the Falcons would do much better with that. I think
Same.
you'd see a lot more production too. It feels like when Kyle Pitts is on the field, it's just another receiver, just a big body receiver
Yeah. Who's not a good receiver right now?
who's not as no.
You don't have to worry about him inside blocking. He's obviously not a good chip blocker either.
Don't get me started on Kyle Pitts.
I mean, he literally misses blocks, man. Like,
Yeah.
he can't block, which
And he's not a very big guy. Like, I mean, for his position, clarity.
I just think it frustrates me because I used to have this debate all the time. I was like, bro, Kyle Pitts is better than Brock Bowers. And I'm like, that is my reaction now.
Okay, we're gonna end this
It's-
show.
it's like
we
literally-
have zero credibility anymore.
But
Yeah,
at Florida, y'all remember him at Florida?
I do.
And he
I
was
do.
just he was a monster.
And I remember the year he got drafted. That next year, Brock started to come on, and Florida fans will be like, "Brock will never catch. They'll never catch Kyle. He'll never catch Kyle." And then I watched him be better than Kyle 2 years in a row.
By a mile,
And
man.
Yeah, that's a tight end position. It's not that easy to like be a monster separator because
You should have favorable matchups with his
You
body
should.
type. Like,
Yeah.
you should be mostly covered by linebackers or a safety, and like, I don't know. Like the one touchdown he has this year was literally a busted coverage, and he's in the corner of the end zone, just
Yeah.
standing there doing jumping jacks.
Yep.
Like, I'm open, Kurt.
yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, man.
I know he's frustrating.
Is there, when it comes to any other things that you've seen in the NFL, like what's just another storyline? You're just like, you know what? More people should be talking about this.
You know, as often as he's talked about, I don't think people talk about how good J.J. Watt is, or not J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt. As much love as he gets, I still don't think people talk about it enough. I mean, is he the reason? Like, he's a major reason the Steelers were 3-0.
He is. I mean, and they still. I mean, they could easily be 4-0. They could be.
Yeah,
I just think Joe Flacco. What more can you say?
that's
That's
old
so
school.
Joe
Like,
Flacco.
he knows that
Yeah.
team. He knows Mike Tomlin. So many years on the Ravens.
Just
Like,
cooking, dog.
Yeah, I do.
I love the washed up QB renaissance right now that we're having.
Yeah.
The run it back.
Yeah,
The Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Joe Flacco, Andy Dalton.
the victory lap.
The victory laps right now, sensational.
Colts better with Flacco. I think the Colts are more consistent with Flacco.
Well,
Like Anthony has more wow factor, but I think in terms of consistency, Flacco's better.
Oh yeah.
But I think that was the same thing that Anthony was at Florida. Like he makes that play against Utah, and it's like, oh my God, Heisman moment. And then you see him on a regular drive against like South Carolina, and he just looks not human, but human. Yeah, I guess.
I'm trying to think about the game, but there was one where he made like 2 or 3 unbelievable throws, and they barely won the game. But everybody's like, holy crap, this guy, future, Anthony Richardson's a problem. But it was like, you look at his actual stat line, it was like 11 for 22, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Yeah.
And you could go back and like, one of those was a busted coverage that he threw it 100 miles. And it's like, I know he can do this stuff, but he's like, his first game, everybody was like, he was awesome. It's like, he was like 9 for 21.
You know what he reminds me of?
what?
No.
You know where I'm going with this?
I think I do.
Joe Milton.
Yep.
He reminds me of Joe Milton, man.
I think
He's got the cannon. He's got the flash. He can make that, like, he's in the pocket. Some dude's on his hip, and he chucks it 80 yards, and it's a touchdown. But then it's like, hey, man, we need you to hit this, like, Dover route to get us a 3rd and 8. Just can't do it.
Can't do it. And people fall for the Joe thing because people
Yeah.
fall for the Anthony thing.
They did, man.
Gigantic
Athletic
freak.
freak, man.
They can stand there and do backflips at 240 pounds. They can throw it
Yep.
95 yards on one toe and whatever, like all that bull crap. But then you see him, a perfect example. He throws that intermediate throw, and it's like, that is an 8-yard route that he threw 22 yards.
Or he throws it so hard that it hits off his receiver's hands
I'm
and
gonna
it
be honest.
bounces.
I think Miggy and I both have fell for the Milton trap.
Oh, 1,000,000 times. 1,000,000 times because you fall in love with potential.
Love it.
And that's
Vegetables.
God, I
that's
love
in
potential.
everything, right? You fall in love with potential. whether
That's
it
why
be
the draft's the funnest week of the year.
Yeah, and it's Joe Milton can throw it 90 yards. I mean, there's some throws Anthony Richardson can make that only probably Josh Allen can make.
Yeah.
And I love Pat Mahomes, by the way. I got to go away from my strategy of taking Pat in the second and third round of fantasy drafts. It's killing me.
It's killing you.
Numbers
And
to say there.
I just think he's the best. And he's not, man. He's on a pick in 16 to 17 games. He tore Rashee Rice's ACL
He
last
did.
night. It's his fault. And now the entire world knows it's your fault. Y'all know how quiet Pat Mahomes has been?
Oh, yeah.
He's been radio silent because he knows he's like, bro, I legit tore his ACL.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
Because not only I threw the pick, but I literally ran into his knee.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll say that's another storyline of mine right now is I know the Chiefs are winning, but it ain't pretty. And they don't look that great.
They look beatable.
They look very beatable.
But
Now we can't beat them somehow, some way. But like yesterday, it's like, the Chargers, they had a really good scripted first half, it felt like. And then after that, Chiefs did the Chiefs stuff. But with Rice going down, he's probably out. Hollywood's
He's probably
out.
for the season.
Yeah, both of them out for the season.
Pacheco's
You pick-
out for what, 6 weeks?
Yeah. Now you're looking at Samaje Perine. Kareem Hunt comes back on the roster, and it's a weird input, and I know they'll make it work. But I really do think this is another season that, with these injuries right now, they're going to wind up getting in as a team that's probably going to have to play on the road at least once.
Yeah.
I know they showed us they could do it last year, but I just have that feeling where
It feels
can
a
they do
little
it
more.
twice?
It feels a little more bleak this year too.
It does.
Like last year, towards the end of the season, you kind of saw him start to put it together a little bit, and now it's like, if Rashee Rice is in fact out for the season, because I haven't seen if he is. I don't know if he's actually done. It looks, watching the video back, prayers up for our boy. It looks like he's probably done for the season. I just don't know where that, because Xavier Worthy's good for the deep shots, and they hit one against the Chargers, but
Farthest pass Mahomes has thrown in like 3 years.
that's his deepest touchdown pass in a while.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact timeline, but they covered it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of with you. I don't know where the production's going to come from. Because Travis has just not been it this year.
It's going to have to come from more reliable, though, right?
You think so?
Yeah, bro. You have no choice. Travis Kelce has not scored a touchdown this year.
Yeah. Believe me, I know. I put some money on it yesterday.
I mean,
Oh, you
Travis
thought it was time?
Kelce.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing I did yesterday. I was like, right before the game. That was the only thing I did. And I was like, I'm out. I'm done with this. I'm not good at this stuff.
He's been atrocious. Catches here and there, but for the standard that I hold Travis Kelce to, has been awful.
Yeah, not good. And I get, like, you can watch, they do it a lot during their games. But, dang, dude, like, the guy gets double covered, triple covered. But that's stuff that he just used to break, and they used to scheme up a lot better. And I just don't think he has that juice. And that's hard at his age. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I know he's
man,
getting
it's-
older, and
Like, well, he's been doing it for so long, man. Like, it's just, eventually it's time, And I'm not, of course, we say that, and in 3 weeks he could be,
Yep.
he could look like prime Travis. It's the Chiefs. We did the same thing last year, first 5 weeks of the season. We're like, they just look beatable, and then it's like, yeah, and they win the Super Bowl. So
yep.
I don't know, man. But speaking of players that are coming back, there's a man near and dear to my heart that starts practice this week, and dear God, his team needs it. Nick Chubb returns to practice this week
Oh, my
for the
gosh.
Browns.
Fantasy stash of the year for
Yeah.
me.
Same here, dog.
Dude, I got
Gotta
it.
have
He's riding the bench.
Gotta
man.
have it.
On IR. Man, the Browns they need something. They need a spark. They need somebody that can make a play because, like, I don't. I don't want to say they did, but it felt like they got screwed yesterday watching that with that touchdown to Amari Cooper that got called back on what was a very questionable holding call.
Very questionable.
And I don't know if Deshaun Watson and his receivers just aren't on the same page, but it looks clunky. And I don't know.
Did y'all hear this one? That I think it's EPA. Yeah, this is the worst offensive EPA for the Browns in the last 35 years. For
That's
the
bad.
Browns.
That's insane.
That's saying something.
And I was like, that's not real. That's not real. And supposedly it is. Stats. I know stats are liars, but yeah, I'm sure we have to get out of here. We got battery wise over there. Yeah, we're burning. We're burning here.
Burning fuel, midnight
We
oil. So I had to put in a little something for Tony Pollard. I see the game flow.
Yeah, we see the game.
you
flow.
know.
I got you. Well, boys.
That's the first time I've thought about it today, so I was like, I need to check the cameras and see.
Yeah, we'll get out of here. We'll go get another drink and a couple bites to eat. But appreciate everybody watching. Boys, thanks for coming to hang. I know this was kind of a little free flow today. Had some
It was
fun.
cool.
Yeah,
Had
we're
a great
just
time.
off script.
Yeah,
A little bit of audible every now and then.
this will not be on any sort of streaming platform. We'll get back to you guys on Friday morning. Like and subscribe. Follow us everywhere. Chat It Up Sports. Thanks for everybody. We are out.
See ya.